Today we are fixing up a fantastic Valentine treat, y'all. These are our strawberry brownies. Hi, I'm Melissa Diane, and on this channel we just have so much fun in the kitchen. So now let's go ahead and jump into the ingredients that we're going to be using for our brownies. Now for our ingredients, we're going to need ingredients for the brownies and then some ingredients for the glaze that we're going to put on top of those brownies. So for our brownies, you're going to want to start with a cake mix, and you need to have one that's a strawberry cake mix. The one I'm using today is a Pillsbury Moist Supreme, and I will put all this info in the description section below the video. So you got your cake mix. You're going to need 2 eggs, a little bit of salt, and then a stick of butter or 2 of these little half sticks, and then also some vanilla. Then for your glaze, you're going to need some sour cream, some strawberry preserves, and then some powdered sugar. Then for decorations that you're going to use on top of your brownies, you want some cut up strawberries and then some sprinkles. And I'm going to be using these sprinkles. These are from Wilton, and they're shaped in little hearts, so they're going to look really cute when we put those on top. And then for baking, I like to use a glass, either 8x8 or 9x9. It doesn't have to be glass, but I think this looks really kind of pretty when it comes out. And then for a tray to serve, you might want to get you a really pretty Valentine tray. I'm going to be using this one today. The only other thing you're going to need is some parchment paper, and then I really think just a mixing bowl and then a spatula and a whisk, and that should be it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 eggs. We're going to dump those in our bowl. Okay. Now we're going to take our melted butter, and remember this was a stick of butter. So I've already melted this in the microwave. We're going to pour this in, and then we're going to go ahead and put in just a little bit of vanilla. And this right here I've got, this is about 1/4 of a teaspoon. So we're not going to put a lot, we're just going to put a little. So let's put this in. Okay. And now you're going to take your whisk and you're just going to mix all of this up. And I'll bring you around here in a second once we get everything all going. Now once you have that all whisked, we're going to set that aside. And we're going to get our cake mix opened up. Now you're going to take your strawberry cake mix and you're going to pour this into your mixture. Now once you have all your butter, and your eggs all mixed together and you've whisked that around, now when you switch over and you've added in your cake mix, go ahead and switch over to a spatula. And when you start mixing this together, it's going to be thick, and it's supposed to be. That's starting to look so pretty. Now we're all mixed up, and like I said, this is supposed to be thick, and it is. And I think I've gotten everything off the sides really good. So we're going to take this now, we're going to sit it aside. We're getting ready to put this in our baking pan. But the first thing I want to do is I want to show you something, a little trick that I usually use if I'm going to be using any parchment paper. And so I have cut this piece of parchment paper to fit the size of my baking pan, but then I like to take a little bit of Pam and just put on the bottom of your baking pan, because what that's going to do is when you put your parchment paper on top of that, it makes it stick. You just spread that around, and it makes it stick. It makes it so much easier. So now we're going to get our strawberry brownie mix, and we're going to put this on top of our parchment paper. Here we go. We're going to get this all in here, and once we get it in, we'll spread it around all even. Go ahead and kind of put it in different areas of your baking dish, so then that way you don't have to spread very far. Okay, so here we are. I have got this all spread out and pat down really good. And y'all, this color is so pretty. This pink, it's kind of like a bubble gum pink. It looks so nice, and I tell you what, it is already smelling so good. So now we're going to take this and we're going to go plop it in the oven. Here we have our brownies, and we're getting ready now to put these in the oven. And they're gonna be on 350, and let's see, yes, I got that on 350, and we're gonna let these go for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll be right back. So looky here, the brownies are out of the oven now, and they look so good, and I can tell they're moist after I put the little toothpick in there. I think these are gonna be wonderful. Now what we do is these have to sit here for about 30 minutes and cool completely. Now we're going to work on our glaze. Our brownies over there are just about cool, so we're going to go ahead and get our glaze going. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in here, let me look at my directions really quick. We're going to put in our powdered sugar, and this was 1/2 cup, okay? And now we're going to take a little bit of our cream. And so I decided to do something different, y'all. I decided to put in some cream instead of milk. And I have to be honest with you, it's because I thought I had some milk and I didn't. So I Googled and found out some good substitutions, so that's what we're going to be using. I may have to put in a little bit more of that in just a second, and that's fine if we need to do that. And I'm also going to put in now our strawberry preserves, and we're going to need, for that, we're going to need about 2 tablespoons. Okay, so I've got 2 tablespoons here of the preserves. We're going to put that in. And then we're just going to start mixing. And we're just going to play this by ear, seeing if we need to add some more. And I can already tell that we are. So we'll add a little bit more. And this is just going to be so nice when we get this and we put this over the top of those brownies. It's going to be just lovely. So now let's just stir and stir. Okay, so I've been doctoring this up a little bit. I put in a little more powdered sugar to try to get this glaze. I just want it to be thick, but not too thick. And then at the same time, I don't want it to be too liquidy, but I want it to be able to go on and still be a glaze. So I think we're just about done. We've got all of that, just about have all that strawberry preserves all mashed up there. So now we're going to go put it on top of the brownies. And when we do that, then we need to let it sit till it dries. And then after it has done that and has set, then we get to decorate it. Okay, so our brownies are all cool. And we're going to go ahead now and we're going to put this all over the top. There's a few little pieces I just saw of preserves in there that did not get completely mashed up. But you know what? I'm still going to go ahead and put them on. Okay. I'm just going to pour this. We're going to put this all over these brownies. If you hear that jingling in the background, that's the babies. The babies have come in. The weather here is not so great today, so they have been out with Jay in the hangar. So we're going to get this all over. Remember, this is a glaze, so it's going to be kind of nice and thin, but we want it to cover completely. And then we'll let it sit for about 30 minutes or an hour before we actually decorate it. So I'm going to go ahead and spread this all over and then let it set, and once it has set, I'll be back and we can decorate it. Okay, so here we are, y'all, and these brownies, look at this, these strawberry brownies, these just came out so nice. They lifted right out of the pan with that parchment paper, and I've just cut these up, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some little white sprinkles all over them on each one of these, and also some little pink and red sprinkles. Look here, y'all. These look so good. They're all decorated up. Now be sure and check out that next video that's popping up, and I'll see you over there in a few minutes. Bye-bye.